Interview confidence in the new normal. In this video, we're going to talk about your job interview motivation. How do you find the confidence to know that you'll be able to go in there, endear yourself to the obstacle, and get the job that you want? We're going to cover start to finish how we acquire and maintain job interview confidence and pitfalls that surround it. What up, fam? Dr. James W. Stallcup, aka Jimmy Joe Coltrane. I'm like the little baby of getting you a Mercedes, and I'm going to do that by teaching you how to job interview. So let's get started. Yo, interview confidence in the new normal. Don't poison yourself with false confidence. This whole false, fictitious motivation thing is silly and it's damaging to you. You may have done this systematically throughout your life. You got to stop right now. I've done it. Most people have done this at one time or another. Imagine how silly it would be if I was going to box Floyd Mayweather, having never successfully boxed before. And prior to the fight, I'm pumping myself up. Oh, yeah, you're going to go in there and you're going to show him who's boss. You're going to win this boxing match. It's laughable. It's silly. But every day, people getting ready for a Zoom call, getting ready for a virtual interview, downloading WebEx, making sure that their Skype works. Every day, these people start building up this false job interview confidence and this motivation to go in there to that interview, even if they're not good at it. Not cool. Not cool. It's not good for you. It's not good for your mind. Why do we do it? There's times in life that it works. There's stuff that you don't really practice or prepare for, and you aren't really in a competition, so you just go in there and pump yourself up and do it. Yo, Coltrane, I went to my brother's wedding, and I had to speak at it and do a speech, so I pumped myself up beforehand. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that sort of false confidence and false motivation. But in a job interview, it will poison you because it plays a trick on your mind and it makes you feel like you're really proficient. And then you go in there and you bomb. So what happens if you bomb a job interview? You go do another one, right? But what happens when you've bombed 5 or 6? Now you start setting your sights lower and lower and lower. And this leads to underemployment. This leads to you taking a job far less than you deserve because you're constantly getting this motivation crushed. Kill 3 or 4 interviews. Endear yourself to an entire panel of obstacles where they're complimenting you and telling you it's one of the best interviews they've ever seen. Now that confidence will transfer to your future interviews. So how do you do it? So I'm going to tell you in this video everything you need to know to build up that motivation. Real quick, I want you to click like and click subscribe. I am committing to uploading 2 videos a week on how to job interview, and I don't want you to miss those videos. Also, I have a start to finish course that will teach you everything you need to know. It's very inexpensive. It's the price of going out and having a meal. The link to that course is in the description. Building motivation. Here are the steps to building job interviews. Motivation step number 1, practice. Practice your personalized content. Practice is one of the most powerful things we have in the job interview. A lot of people are unaware of the fact that there's only about 40 questions that they can possibly ask. So you develop personalized content in response to those 40 questions. In my course, I walk you through every single one of these questions. You know in advance what you're going to say, and then you practice that. Routines build a level of comfort. That comfort translates into confidence. The first time I worked in an emergency room, my hands were shaking too bad to turn the dial on the radio as I was driving up there. However, after I'd done many shifts, I got a certain level of comfort with it. I got out of that business pretty quick and kind of changed specialties. But a lot of those guys who I trained with who now have done it for years and years and years, they have swagger. They have confidence. There's nothing that's going to come in the door of that emergency room that they can't handle. And these guys were always good. These guys actually had the skills. They just had to do the routine and make it normal. They had to make it feel comfortable. So practice is very powerful. Step 2, appearance. One outfit and practice in that outfit every single time. The outfit is not giving you confidence. What's happening is you're putting on that outfit like an athlete puts on a sports uniform and gets into character. When we are in the interview, we are playing a character. We are not being ourselves. Being yourself in a job interview is a true pathway to failure. I've heard people say, I disagree with this advice. I'm myself in a job interview. And I say, really? Well, let me come hang out with you on midnight on a Saturday night. That must be exciting to see how it is to hang out with somebody who feels and acts like they're in a job interview. Well, no, I mean, not when I'm hanging out with my friends. I tend to cuss more. Okay, so what's the real you? The answer is there is no real you. You change your behavior with the setting that you're in. So you cannot actually be yourself. All you can be is unprepared. And if being yourself means being unprepared, then someone who I've trained or one of the other mentors out there has trained is going to take that job away from you. And there's a lot of good education out there. I'm not saying I've cornered the market on effective job interview education. I'm saying the difference is most pronounced between someone who is freestyling and trying to be themselves and someone who's taken it seriously, formalized a plan of here's how many minutes I'm going to practice every week, and then work that plan to build proficiency. That's where the confidence comes from. That's true confidence, right? Like that sort of motivation. If you have trained every week, you are going to know that you've done more in preparation than the other candidates. Third way to build motivation is your personalized content. So in the creation of the personalized content, you are basically doing affirmations every time you develop it. Like as you develop it, as you answer a question, workshop the question, you are affirming to yourself that that is correct. So your mind is not spinning and getting in that anxiety in the interview. You're not freestyling and trying to look for that answer. So the actual development of the content will bring you a lot of confidence. So you can see, doesn't it feel, even as I'm talking through this, like, whoa, there's a whole other level out there. There's a level that I have not attained, which allows you to do this. So let's talk about affirmations. I use that term affirmation. I love the scene in The Office when Dwight Schrute's going to ask for a raise and he's out in the hallway listening to metal and pumping himself up. I love that scene. So what kind of affirmations should you say? Is it safe to say affirmations? Is it productive? Well, if they're true, if someone says, I'm the greatest running back in college football because I have the best statistics and blah, 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 and that's what they tell themselves, then no problem there. Or if someone says, I'm the best running back in college football and I may not have the best numbers now, but I've trained harder and I've run more and I've put more practice into it than anybody else, then yeah, that's a good affirmation. So here's the manner in which you should affirm yourself. I am doing what no one else has done. I am approaching this job interview in a way which they are not approaching it. I am taking steps that these other applicants have not taken. I am taking steps to correct my appearance, correct my behavior, and correct my content that none of them have done. I have learned how to create a virtual job interview set in my home. I have correct staging, audio, and lighting. I have committed more than they have committed. I have done more than they have done. I have worked harder than they have worked to get this job. I have come farther in my journey to perfect the job interview than any other applicant. Now, once you can make those statements true, you can walk into an interview or you can log into an interview with the confidence that no one else has, and that will translate because people are genetically programmed to respond to confidence. Make sure and click like and subscribe so you can see these videos that I'm putting out. Thanks for watching.